Well, hello, everyone. J.R. Murray back here. I am the host of Explore. It's great to have you tuned into another podcast. Today's guest is Kirk Wilson from the Grant County Chamber of Commerce and also L&W Enterprises. It's great to have you here this morning with us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited about this. We've gotten a lot of feedback. People really like watching the videos and seeing what we're going to talk about next. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about the Chamber of Commerce, what it does, what it hopes to accomplish, things of that suit. But before we get into that, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself for the people that doesn't know who Kirk Wilson is?
Kirk Wilson is, I'm a retired Navy commander, Civil Engineer Corps. I came back to my family business and took it over in 2005. I'm a civil engineer, business entrepreneur. L&W Enterprises does surveying, engineering, timber sales, just about anything that has to do with real estate management, and that sort of stuff. So that's what we are. That's what we do. I'm president of the Grant County Chamber of Commerce. I was a board member at one time, so I was an elected official. That's the scariest thing that I'll ever do. Not again. So anyway, that's basically it.
Okay. And by the way, he did a very good job helping us lay out Love's Way Village. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. But to the heart of the matter, speaking of Love's Way Village and the fact that we had to build platforms and all this stuff, it was very hard finding contractors.
Oh, yes.
So I'm finding out that there is a real void when it comes to the trade vocations.
Yes.
Is that something that the chamber has ever looked at or played around with?
Well, prior to the pandemic, we were working with the school system with what was called Careers West Virginia, and it was largely focused on steering young people towards the trades, towards trade schools. The thing that people don't think about is, they've always put forth a stigma, they being the public school system, always put forth a stigma that, if you went to the trade, you were somehow less. Well, that's not true, never has been true. And the tradespeople are what made America great. They built America. And so the pandemic put that on a pretty serious hold. But that being said, a young person coming out of high school can go to a number of trade schools, and they need to take advantage of the South Branch Career and Technical Center, and spend $20,000 or $30,000 and get a trade. Today, if you have an electrician, HVAC mechanic certification, you can name your own price. Carpenters, holy smokes, plumbers, any of the tradespeople today, they are going to make very good money. Being in the trades, and a lot of times means you got to move around a little bit, but I would put forth the notion that, in our valley here, that you can drive for an hour and a half, and that's well within reason of doing business, and be very well compensated.
I think what that comes down to is you can say that going to a trade school is a very high return on your investment.
Exactly, and your investment is, average college 4-year degree now is not 4 years, it's 5 years, and it's anywhere from $120,000 to $140,000. You can go to a trade school for $20,000 to $30,000. If you want to be an auto mechanic, a diesel mechanic, that's probably the high end of the school. That's $30,000-$35,000, but you write your own ticket from that point on. Well, let's just think about that. How long does it take for me to recoup $30,000 versus how much do we recoup from
upwards of 100,000, yeah.
100,000, especially when a lot of the jobs that you're going to get out of college, unless you're an engineer, a nurse, or other skilled person, there are a lot of guys out there today that are working at McDonald's that have $100,000 debts.
So what do you think started causing that stigma around the trade school? Like, how did it shift that everyone was kind of, and I know that, like, if the market is flooded with trade people, then, but it's like now everyone has to go to college. I have to go to college. That's the only way I'm going to get a job and make good money. Like, how did that start? Was it just good marketing from the colleges?
That started back in the late 70s. When I was in high school, I graduated in 1980. It was at that time when they really started pushing, if you get a college degree, you're guaranteed you're going to make $100,000 a year. Well, everybody started pressing that. And the school system started teaching towards going to college. That was their goal, and that's what they pressed on all the people that worked in the guidance counselors. They all were pushing, well, you need to go to college. You need to go to college. You need to take these classes so you can go to college. And that's what I think happened. And the further it went, then, it gained its own momentum. And unfortunately, what happened was that the colleges didn't maintain their high standards. And so, a lot of college degrees today aren't worth the paper they're written on. They don't teach the really hard subjects anymore. You can go to WVU today and get a general studies 4-year degree. What does a general studies 4-year degree do for you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It doesn't do anything for you. We need artists and folks like that to add flavor to the world, but folks with art degrees and that kind of stuff, they're not going to add to the industrial base of our nation. They don't build the nation; they color the nation. They make the nation worth living in.
Yeah,
you got to have them, but you don't need many of them. So, business administration degrees, business management degrees, all very important, but not everybody can be a business manager. You need people to turn wrenches. You need people to take natural resources and turn them into products that can then be sold and create a profit.
And that's also why I do feel that you can't look down on any job.
No.
Because you need that person.
Absolutely.
I need that Walmart worker so that I can have my shelves stocked so I can go in there and get what I want.
Absolutely, you do.
Listen, I love chicken. I need pilgrims.
Absolutely.
But that's another topic. We're talking about the trade school. So is there a way that the Board of Education or the leaders in schools or the chamber can kind of switch so it's just not college push? And I'm not saying we shouldn't push some kids to college, because if you are going to be a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, you need college. But can we help direct other kids that can go to trade schools?
Well, the part of that, a large piece of that is financial, okay? And the state of West Virginia only pays for 1 year of vocational education for a student.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Only pay for 1 year. The second year, the VOTEC has to take that out of Hyde. It takes 2 years to get your certificate. Now, we are very fortunate here that the South Branch Career and Technical Center is as good as it is. We have top performers in the trades that they teach, especially auto mechanic, carpentry, mechanical, electrical, and welding. They're top of the line. They always do very well in their competitions. They have a CNA program as well. They have the cosmetology program as well. Top of the line. But the way that the legislature funds vocational schools, they only fund them for 1 year. So the legislature needs to change the way that they fund VOTEC schools. It's all public education. Really, it is all public education, but they need to start funding VOTEC schools at a level that produces the results that we need to do. We need to have to make our economy run.
So this is something that we need to hit John Paul Hott up with and say, hey, take this, see what you can do in the Capitol.
Right. It's clearly, the state, the legislatures are not exempt from the, I don't want to say this. They're not exempt from what the views of people in the education programs. And they were most of the people that are in our House of Delegates and Senators, all like me and about my age. And we were all told, go to college, get a degree, you'll be successful. So that's the way that the legislature has moved. Now they're going to have to change that paradigm. And I'm hoping that they do. I've seen some movement in that direction, but it's very small. And the pandemic just put everything on the rail. Everything on the rail. But, we're coming out of that, and I hope to see that change. I hope so, because we need. I don't think that we will ever have a surplus of tradespeople in West Virginia, in the eastern United States, in the nation. We'll never see that again.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I can't ever remember us having an excess of tradespeople.
Well, just try to get a plumber or an electrician or someone to do your house or something,
Exactly. It's hard. And when you do get them, I think the base charge now is, $75 or $100 just to walk in the door. So, and a lot of people don't picture this, but Petersburg, our counties of the Eastern Panhandle, we are within 2 hours of 1/3 of the nation's population. I just think about that.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. So, get your trade school, start your business. You can start your business in Grant County. You can expand it east, north, south, and grow that business in that way. But that's unfortunately the way that things are going to have to go. It's going to be probably a slow process to get caught up because we are way behind. But I'm optimistic that, here in the next 3-4 years that we'll start tracking back in the right direction and growing more craftspeople.
Good. Shout out to my lifeguard, Cody, who he graduates this year, and he's already starting towards his career as an electrician.
There you go.
Out of high school, already starting, making money, building up to what's the top? Master electrician or something?
Master electrician, master craftsman.
Yeah. And right out of high school, already building towards it.
That's right.
So
making money as he goes.
Yeah. And that's great. So how do you think we can better serve the trade schools then? Is it something that we need more voices locally, parents?
I think the trade schools, here in our area, we've got South Branch Career and Technical Center, and we've got Eastern. They do a pretty good job of advertising their services, and it's been a little while since I've talked to Shelley down at South Branch, but they were pretty well tapped out, facilities wise.
Wow.
Because that's real encouraging to me.
Yeah, means a lot of kids are coming.
A lot of kids are coming down that way. They do adult classes as well, but like all schools, you got to have enough people involved in a class, enrolled in a class, in order to have that class. So, if you're an adult and you want to get into the trades, you can go down and enroll and get 5 or 6 of your buddies to come and join you. and start those classes to become an electrician, become a welder, all those sorts of things. And I think probably a little bit more advertisement of the adult programs would be helpful. Eastern, I know that they have the truck driving school. My goodness, we need truck drivers.
Yeah.
God bless every truck driver out on the roads today, because if it wasn't for them, our country would come to a big freaking screeching halt.
I don't think the city people realize that.
I'm pretty confident they don't realize that, but they just truck drivers are a blessing to everybody.
Shout out to all the truck drivers out there.
Yes, absolutely.
Keeping the world running.
Because if it weren't for them, we out in the country, we'd be fine. Cities, there'd be a lot of people that would be in very dire straits.
Yeah. So my grandfather, truck driver, 50 years.
Yeah.
So important. So moving on to another topic. The Chamber of Commerce, once a year for, I think this is 30 years,
has done 29.
29.
29 years.
The pandemic. The pandemic hit us from being 30.
Yeah.
Spring Mountain Festival.
Absolutely.
What do we got on tap?
Oh, man. Spring Mountain Festival this year is going to be great. It's going to be April 29th through May the 1st. We've got great entertainment, live bands, all the food and stuff that you'd ever want. Barbecue, so many great things. Every year I eat more than I'm supposed to. We got pony rides. We got the bounce house and entertainment for the kids. I mean, it's family oriented. It's
Trout rodeo going to be back?
Oh, absolutely, a trout rodeo. I mean, if you like fishing in the swimming pool, that's fun, and it's always a blast every year. Everybody has such a ball doing that. So,
is there anything that we're short on that you want to make a plea to and say, hey, we really need this, come and be part? Crafters or...
Well, we would love to have some more craft vendors. The pandemic put a dent in our craft vendors. We always need more craft vendors. I mean, here's an opportunity. This is the first West Virginia Association of Fairs and Festivals festival in the state of West Virginia, the very first one in the state of West Virginia. And it's an opportunity for all the craft vendors that have been doing their craft at home to come out and share those crafts, sell those crafts. We've got covered tents. We've got a circus tent for just craft vendors. You can set up outside if you want to set up yourself outside. And it's just a great venue. I mean, every year we have, weather depending, we have 4,000 to 6,000 people that show up.
Yeah. A lot of people that roll through there.
A lot of people, and a lot of people say, well, it's all local folks. Well, no, we pick off anywhere. Well, on any given weekend in West Virginia and Petersburg, Eastern Panhandle, there's 4,000 to 5,000 people from Northern Virginia that drive through our state, or drive through our town, our county. Some stay, some move on to Tucker County to the ski slopes and that kind of stuff, but they love coming to our little festival. And they like the food, they like the people, because everybody's really friendly here, and they like the vendors that show up. But yes, we do need more craft vendors. That would be
what's the best way, even any type of vendor, food, craft, selling, whatever, what's the best way for them to get an application or reach out? Or
Well, the applications are by our Facebook page, or you can go to grantwvchamber.com. That's our chamber website, and all those applications are there, and you can download them and get with Rachel, who's our office manager, and she'll take care of you. I also want to throw out that on March the 11th, we're going to have our little Spring Mountain Festival pageant. That's on a Friday.
We should probably talk that our queen, the Spring Mountain Festival queen, did something pretty cool.
Yeah, our queen, Tamaya Miller, was, I like to say she was the number 6, but she was a semifinalist in the West Virginia Fairs and Festivals Association pageant that was just held here week before last. So she was top 15, and
only local
queen to be in the top 15. So big shout out to her. She's just a wonderful young lady. And our Spring Mountain Festival pageant for 2022 takes place on the 12th. And both pageants are going to be held in our wonderful venue, the Landis Arts Center.
Okay.
And so no worries about getting cold. It's
unless the heater breaks.
We ain't gonna worry about that. It's not gonna happen. But it's gonna be a great time. We've got our new pageant director this year. Her name is Robin Simmons, and she's a pro. She knows pageants and been doing pageants for a very, very long time, and she's just doing a wonderful job. And I'm very excited to see this pageant. And any young lady that wants to be a part of that, again, go to grantwvchamber.com and you can download the application for your age group and all the rules and everything like that go along with it. And please come out and be a part of something that's really cool.
Did I hear correctly? Does the winning girl make more money this year? It's a scholarship?
Oh, yes. The scholarship has been increased from $500 to $1,000 for the winner of the Queen's pageant. And then we pay, the Chamber of Commerce pays the cost to go to the Fairs and Festivals pageant in Charleston next January. So, yes, it's a $1,000 cash sponsorship.
So, young ladies, definitely start applying. Get ready. March will be on us very quickly.
Absolutely. So it's Spring Mountain Festival is always a cool time of the year because it starts getting warm. Sun starts coming out. Mm-hmm. We start seeing a little green on little trees.
We moved it kind of a week later.
We did
to hope for a little warmer weather.
Yeah, the way the calendar was working last year, it was still pretty early in the year. So this year we moved it to the last weekend in April, but not necessarily the last full weekend in April. So we're moving up on the calendar and hopes of getting some better weather. So, but anyway, it's going to be a great time. It's always a great time. We always have fun, and people get out of their houses and go and do fun things together. So
yeah, I can't always love looking forward to that. Can't wait for that. So Chamber of Commerce, businesses join. Is there something that you have or a program or someone that wants to start a business, sure, that we help with or something? I mean, because we're all about promoting business.
The Grant County Chamber of Commerce is a volunteer organization, and we are the voice of business in Grant County. We're here to assist businesses. We're here to help them expand. We're here to help them grow. We're here to help them start new businesses. And a part of that is a program that we've got up. It's called Startup.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of our version of Shark Tank. Well, not necessarily young, but business people that want to start a business in Grant County. Here's your opportunity to put together a package, a business plan, and those sorts of things that you do a presentation, and you could walk away with $5,000.
Wow. Like startup money is what you're...
Startup
wow.
money. It's money that you can use for getting licenses and whatever you need to get started. And then on top of that, we do like a business mentoring program with them and help people do, set up your LLC, set up your accounting system, do all those sorts of things that you have to do with the West Virginia tax departments and those sorts of things. That for us that have been in business for a while is really easy to do. But for somebody who's never started a business, who doesn't understand the difference between an LLC and an S corporation, that's a road that's really hard. And
I wish I would have had this when I started, because it was trial and error 13 years ago.
And it's painful if you don't understand it and you don't know where to look. But the state of West Virginia has done a great job of making things simple to interface with the Secretary of State's office, in that they have a new business portal. And in that portal, you can set up your LLC or your S corp. It coordinates all the efforts with the tax department and all that kind of stuff. And you can set up an LLC in about 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Online, set it up.
That seems painless. Compared to
It's
what it
very
was.
Painless. Yeah, because it used to be you had to go to the tax department, you had to go to the Secretary of State's office, you had to go to, what's the other office down there? The auditor's office, several different places. And it was painful. But they've done a good job of streamlining that. Now, okay, so you get your LLC set up. Now you need to think about how you're going to do your accounting, how you're going to do your advertising, how you're going to do all the things that is the business. Because a lot of people think, well, I've been brewing beer for a long time. I want to brew beer. That's what I want to do. I want to start a brewery. Well, you've still got to get all the licenses you need from the, I guess it would be the tax department for brewing beer. Then you got to get the health department approvals. And while I don't think we have anybody in our chamber that brews beer right now as a brewery, we have capabilities to go out and reach people to, help with those sorts of things. Likewise, the Chamber of Commerce is a conglomerate. We have integrated with us the Grant County Economic Development Authority, the CVB, which is the Conference Visitors Bureau, and with the Economic Development Authority, we have the capabilities to help people get financing that they would otherwise not be able to get because they're not bankable. They don't have, 120% equity, which is what a lot of banks are requiring right now in order to get a loan for starting a business. But there are institutions out there that will take these loans and, they work with their clients to make sure that they're successful. And we have an ability to get to them and get our folks into that process if they're not bankable. And we've been successful. I mean, we've got, just in Petersburg, we've had 9 new businesses open here in the last year. About $1.2 million worth of investment. At Mount Storm, there's a large poultry operation that's in operation up there now that brought $20 million worth of capital investment into the county. That's real tax base. That's real money coming into the county. And that, I'd like to see more agribusiness come our way. Of course, the tourism business is big business here. And I think we're going to see more growth in that. We're engaged in the Montowns initiative. But there's just so many things going on in town that and in Grant County that and Hardy County has the same. They're growing as well. And so when you look at what's happening in the Eastern Panhandle, it's all about growth.
Yeah. It's actually an exciting time to be living here.
It actually is an exciting time to be here. And, anybody who's thinking about wanting to start a small business, go to the, grantwvchamber.com and there's a big link that says startup.
Who can we thank the driving force behind this?
Oh, this is Suzanne Park Lewis. And Suzanne, if you haven't got her scheduled yet to talk about startup, you need to.
Because she can go in
depth detail, and she's got so much enthusiasm about this because she's done it before. She was in Weirton and did a very similar program to this, and it's just exciting. So,
but for right now, if you want to start a business and you need a chance at getting some cash flow, they need to fill out this application.
They need to fill out the application and start down the road. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's perfect. Like I said, 13 years ago, that would have been great.
Well, I had a gentleman who has a business in Petersburg. As a matter of fact, he's about to expand his business in Petersburg. And he told me the same story you had. And he started his business two years ago, and he didn't know about the getting registered and with the tax department. And he fought that process. And I just felt bad because he didn't think about coming to the Chamber of Commerce to let us help him do that, because that's our job, is to help businesses, to be a voice for business, to do those things that help people get and be successful. And all the people on our board are successful business people.
And there's room for more.
Absolutely. We'll take more every day.
Because the more success other people have, it does bring your success up also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of people think, oh, well, nobody will ever make any money in the tourism business. Well, for every $10 that's spent on tourism from out of state, 7 of that ends up in your county. So that tourism is never going to hire a lot of people, but it's going to bring a lot of money into your county. And so that's what's important. And, that's probably it.
Yeah.
That's probably it. Just remember, the Grant County Chamber of Commerce is here to support business, expand business, start new businesses, be the voice of business in every avenue. And if we can ever get broadband to work for us here, and I got to tell you, Tyson Riggleman, who's one of our county commissioners, he's working his butt off to
I have an interview scheduled with Tyson.
You're good.
On the books. He's going to tell us all the latest developments and everything that's going on. So you'll make sure to stay tuned for that. We'll announce when Tyson's coming up. Also, I'm going to be interviewing right now. I've got one of the people that is running for commissioner. I'm going to be interviewing, and one of the people that is running for Board of Education has agreed. So we're going to do some election coverage so that you know what platform that people are running on and what they're supporting and what they're for, and we can make informed choices, because obviously all of us want the best for the county, the town, and so we want the best leaders in there so that we know what direction we're going.
Absolutely.
Okay, Kirk, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time. Everyone, make sure you go check out Explore Grant County. That's where this video will be exclusively. Like it, follow it to get all the latest updates. Everyone, have a great day.